If it's going to be cold, everybody thinks about clothing. But in warm weather, people get really relaxed about it. And I think that's a big mistake. We all think about lions and tigers and bears and all that stuff. But the things that have hurt me in the woods have been things that have stung me because I wasn't wearing the right kind of clothing. I got hit by what's locally referred to as a cow killer, which is depending if you're of Asian descent, you call it a European hornet. If you're of European descent, you call it a Japanese hornet. But neither group is paying the other one a compliment. And honest to God, it felt very much like somebody taking an oxyacetylene torch and run it up my arm with oxygen full on. It was a very unpleasant experience, and my arm ballooned up nicely. And I felt ill for a couple of days. Not a good thing. I always take a hint from the old farmers that I knew when I was growing up, and they wore long sleeve shirts and they wore long pants. One of the reasons, by the way, to always carry Benadryl if you're not allergic to it, or some other relatively high-powered antihistamine, because you can go into anaphylaxis from stings of animals that you had no idea existed. The other thing, which I highly recommend, is to always carry a pair of gloves in the woods. I always felt kind of wimpy doing that until I was doing a tracking course, and we had a Marine sniper who was laying tracks for us. And Leo never left the truck without gloves on. When it looked like the truck was slowing down, he put gloves on. And I got to thinking about that. These are extremely important to you in any kind of survival situation, or just hunting, or just messing around. If your hands are torn up from brambles or anything like that, you're not going to have anywhere near as good a time as you were planning on. So I think there's a pair of another pair of gloves somewhere on me. The really light so-called cabretta leather gloves, which are goatskin, take up no space in your pocket, and you can wad them up, fold them in half, and put them in your back pocket and hardly know they're there until you need them. I've spent a lot of time in the woods. I used to do a lot of rock climbing and stuff, which meant that you're hiking in and out in rocky country. Something that covers your ankle bones is a good thing to have. And not only will it give you some support, but banging your ankles against a rock or a stump or it just is not a good time. You're on and off. I'm on and off tractors and occasionally bulldozers and stuff all the time, and it's just not a smart person always has something that covers the ankles. It doesn't have to be thick padding or anything, but a couple of layers of leather will do wonders.